Hey there. If you're using a GLP-1 medication, you might have heard that it expires after 28 days. But is that actually true for all of them? The short answer is no. Different GLP-1 medications have different timelines, and understanding these differences is important for making sure your medication works the way it should. Let's start with why this matters. GLP-1 medications are biologic peptides. That means they're more sensitive to temperature, light, and time than many other medications. If they're not stored properly or used within the right time frame, they can lose their effectiveness, and that could impact your diabetes management or weight management results. So let's break down the specifics. First, you need to know whether you're using a multi-dose pen or a single-dose device because the rules are different. Multi-dose pens are the ones you use multiple times. Ozempic, for example, should be discarded 56 days after you first use it. That's almost 2 months, not 28 days. Victoza and Saxenda, on the other hand, should be discarded after 30 days of first use. Single-dose devices are different. These are the auto-injectors you use once and throw away, but the storage rules still matter because they tell you how long you can keep them at room temperature before you use them. Wegovy allows 28 days at room temperature, Trulicity allows 14 days, and Mounjaro and Zepbound allow 21 days. Before you open or use any of these medications, they should all be stored in the refrigerator at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's something really important. Never freeze your GLP-1 medication. If it freezes, you need to throw it away, even if it looks fine. Now, what happens if you use your medication beyond these recommended timeframes? According to FDA-approved labeling and manufacturer guidance, using these medications beyond the recommended timeframe can reduce potency. That means it might not work as well for managing your blood sugar or supporting your weight management goals. The active ingredient can break down over time, especially if it hasn't been stored correctly. Let's talk about practical guidance. When you get a new prescription, write the date you first use it on the pen if it's a multi-dose device. That way you'll know when it's time to discard it. If you're using single-dose devices, pay attention to how long they've been out of the refrigerator. If you're traveling, you can keep your GLP-1 medication at room temperature for the timeframes we mentioned, but try to avoid extreme heat. Don't leave it in a hot car or in direct sunlight. And here's a good habit to develop. Inspect your medication before each use. According to your product's instructions for use, the solution should be clear and colorless. Do not use if you see any cloudiness, discoloration, or particles floating in the liquid. If you see anything that looks off, don't use it. Throw it away and contact your healthcare provider for a replacement. If you accidentally use medication that's past its recommended time frame, don't panic, but do reach out to your healthcare provider. They can advise you on next steps and make sure your treatment stays on track. And if you're ever unsure about whether your medication is still good, it's always better to ask your doctor or pharmacist rather than risk using something that might not be effective. This is also a good time to mention that everyone's situation is different. These are general guidelines based on FDA-approved prescribing information, but your healthcare provider might have specific instructions for you based on your individual needs. Always follow the guidance they give you about storage and use, and check your specific product's package insert for the most current details. So let's recap the key points. GLP-1 medications don't all need to be discarded after 28 days. The timeline ranges from 14 to 56 days, depending on which medication you're using and whether it's a multi-dose pen or single-dose device. Always store unopened medication in the refrigerator, never freeze it, and inspect it before each use according to your product labeling. And when in doubt, talk to your healthcare provider or pharmacist. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below with any questions you have about GLP-1 medications. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more evidence-based health information.